Hey, Fright Nights, how you doing? As you can see, Horror Guru is back in town, so we're going to do this vlog together. We're back together, buddy. How's
I know,
it
man.
feel?
It's been too long. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a kind of a long break, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was
2.5 months, something like that. Yeah.
Since like mid-December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just got done watching a movie called Proxy. I had seen it before and told Horror Guru that he had to see it, and so when he came over, he was like, "Oh, let's watch it." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Throw it on.
So we're going to talk about this. A quick capsule review. You should absolutely watch it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you want to see this movie and you're only sold by the fact that we like it, you should pause right now, go watch it, then come back, because this is a movie that is very easily spoiled.
Yeah.
And it's best to go in not knowing much about it.
Yeah. But let's see if we can pick out a few things that we can talk about. One, it is definitely a story about women.
Yes, it absolutely is.
It is about women, and definitely like the darker side.
Yes,
of things.
yes. So think stuff like I don't know, like recently Gone Girl comes to mind when it comes to the dark side. Of female stories.
Yeah.
I would also say something that we can talk about is that this movie is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's really beautiful.
It's really classically shot. It feels like a Polanski film meets like a giallo film in the way it's shot.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in the way the story progresses, but definitely the way it's shot.
Yeah. Like you had actually said that like it feels like a giallo, but instead of who done it, it was what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you're never lost. They don't do that thing where you don't know what's happening because the movie is bad. It's like you don't know what's happening because of the way they reveal things.
Yeah. And they always give you something to like hook you again, and then slowly reveal some more questions. And so they do it real good. It's like, hey, here's a reveal and like 3 more questions to keep you going, and they do that really well, like a good mystery.
Yeah, it's really excellent. All right, so that's it for spoiler free. At this point, we're just gonna talk about the movie.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Okay, so probably the single largest spoiler is the meaning of the title. Proxy, which as in Munchausen by.
Yes. So basically, people who live vicariously through the pain of others.
Yep. Generally a child.
Yes. Like there's more than one woman in this who basically live vicariously through the pain of others' loss of their children.
Yes.
And this goes down a really dark path.
Yeah.
Because then eventually they gotta feel it themselves.
Yes. Yeah, it does that thing that we were saying like way back when we were saying that a lot of movies don't do anymore, which was halfway through the movie we switch main characters.
Yeah. It's the psycho tactic where halfway through you kill the lead. And at that point in the movie, if you've done it well enough, the audience no longer has any idea what's going to happen, because the character you've been following, the character you've started to sympathize with, even though in this movie, like, they go down a really fucked up path and you find out stuff about them that makes them harder to sympathize with.
Oh, yeah.
But you still do. You still do. The actress is really good. But, like, they kill her halfway through and then switch to someone else's story. Someone who they've set up so far, like leading up as kind of like the secondary character. So she goes from B plot to A plot, like that.
Yeah.
And they do it really well, because, like, I know for me, I didn't expect that. So, like...
Yeah.
I did not expect that. And so,
I didn't either.
And so when she was just fucking dead, I was like... Where the fuck is this movie going?
Yeah. Where are we going? What's happening? What's this about? Oh, man. Like, this movie does not start light either. You know,
forced abortion. And when I say forced, I mean with a fucking rock.
With a brick.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Like,
And it was shot so starkly.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like stylized or whatever. It's just like a wider shot of like the girl laying there and she's been knocked out and her belly sticking out and just someone just taking a fucking brick to it.
Yeah. Oh,
and you're hearing the crunch and the smash and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and it's really soft too, like
Yeah, because it's hitting flesh.
Yeah.
It's hitting flesh. And just like the blood slowly trickling down between her legs. Like, oh god. It's tragic, it's heartbreaking, it's hard to watch, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's the Serbian film tactic.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, now just make everything as beautiful as possible, so like we're even more uncomfortable with how horrific this is.
That's probably the in terms of like pregnancy related like body damage scenes that super affected me. It's probably up there with that end of Inside.
Yeah. Oh, the scissors.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Oh. The realization of how easy it is to cut flesh with scissors. Like,
yeah. Oh. It ain't pretty.
Yeah. There's no scissor damage in this movie.
Yeah, there's no scissor damage.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Woof. So, yeah, were you expecting the lesbian subplot?
I was not expecting that at all. Like when you told me that parts of the movie reminded you of a Giallo before I saw it, when the girl in the red hood that first does the damage to the to the baby, I expected her to be like the Giallo killer, like the mysterious killer going around killing babies or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, and like maybe this main character is gonna like uncover who she is or whatever. But then to have that twist, like God, within like the first like 10 minutes. And it feels like it's been longer than 10 minutes. You feel like you spent a good amount of time with this character before this happens. And then to find out that it was her lover that she basically hired to do this so that she could live vicariously through the pain of losing a child. Not because she actually feels for the child, but because she wants to live through others who have gone through that so she could go to the meetings. It's super fucked up. Yeah, super fucked up. And then she meets the other woman who has done it but has not lost her child. Like she's just completely lying. Yeah. You know? And they think they formed a connection. She thinks she's formed a connection with her because oh, she's like me. She lives by proxy through these people and their pain. And then when she realizes that she actually does have a child. Her ultimate act of love is to kill that child for her so she could feel that pain. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that other than like, good God, that scene shows you nothing. That scene is shot from outside the room when it happens. So you're outside the room and you just hear the splashing and you know a kid is drowning in that other room and it's slowly panning away. And as a viewer, you're like, no, you just want to run in and save the kid.
Yeah. The movie is forcing you to be more distant and which makes you try to be closer. It's really good.
You know,
it's really good.
There's a lot of those like some of my favorite like camera technique is the pan that's so subtle that it's almost feels subconscious, like the push in and the pull out.
Yeah, this movie does that.
And this movie does that very well because like on the shot in the doorway when it's like pulling away and like the kid's being drowned in the other room, like it took me a minute to realize that we're getting further and further away.
Yeah. And then from like left of screen, like the other character comes in.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good.
You know, it's done so well. Like I said, it feels like a Polanski film, like the way it's shot. And like there's a lot of in between doorway shots, which is like a Polanski like classic. Like there's always the famous shot in Rosemary's Baby where he framed it so that she is slightly covered by the doorway.
Yeah.
So and the reason why he did that was so that when people are sitting there watching the audience, they all just instinctively go like to look around the doorway, but you can't because it's a screen.
Yeah. Yeah, just to get you involved.
Yeah. Just play these little mind games with the audience.
Yeah. And the fact that I like the fact that so the first main character, it turns out the woman who kills her child in the first scene is actually her actual lover.
Yes.
Her actual lesbian lover who...
And you get a hardcore fucking sex scene here, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I admire any film that is willing to put, like, a lesbian love scene in the movie.
Yeah. I don't even know if you call it a love scene so much as a fucking
No, that's a
scene.
fuck scene. Yeah, that's true.
Holy crap. Yeah, she's like, well, she's full on got a strap on in that one. And I didn't realize it, but like you pointed this out. The way that's set up, you actually are kind of half expecting it to turn out that the initial lesbian lover in the Red Hood is actually like transgender.
Yeah, well, I thought that at first because I couldn't tell if she was using a strap on when they were having sex, and she's presented as really butch. So it's entirely
super butch.
Yeah, so it's entirely possible that she was transgendered. And then later on, you actually see the dildo, and so you're like, okay, it was a strap on. And what I really like about it is that throughout this entire movie, that particular character is color coded by red. So like anything red in the movie represents her. So she's got a red hood, she's got a red truck, and she's got a red strap on.
Yeah, she's literally the most colorful character.
Yeah.
She's
got
coated
red hair.
Yeah, she has.
That's right. Yeah,
absolutely coated red. Melanie is coated blue, like and
blue and purple.
Blue and purple, and the other oh god, what is Esther?
Yes,
Esther. The first main character is like muted colors, completely muted.
Well, she's presented in it matches her personality because she's presented as completely disconnected from everyone else around her.
Yeah,
like even when she's having the love scenes with her lesbian lover, her lover seems way more into her than she is into her, and she is the other way around. Like it's one of those things where like her lover is like, you're the love of my life, I'll do anything for you or whatever, and you kind of get this feeling that she doesn't feel it, which is part of the reason why she lives by proxy through the other people. She just doesn't have feelings. Like,
she doesn't have like those kinds of feelings.
Yeah.
It's not easy for her to get to. I also like the fact that the relationship between Esther and the Red Girl is actually very abusive.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very abusive relationship. There are no good relationships in this movie,
especially not Melanie, the friend she makes at the what do they call it? What do they call it? Support group.
Yeah.
The friend she makes at the support group, the one whose son she kills, like her relationship with her husband.
Oh God, so messed up.
Oof. That's one of those. It's one of those relationships where they're together, but it feels like they're together out of spite. Like,
well, especially like after the kid is murdered.
Yeah.
Before that, it feels like an average semi-dysfunctional.
And the funny thing is, you're watching the husband, and you kind of see why this marriage isn't working, but at the same time, you're like, he's oddly the most sympathetic character in this because he's the only one who actually has like real emotions. Like he actually feels things, and so he's constantly disconnecting from his wife because his wife obviously doesn't feel them because she, like the other girl, like she pretends. There's scenes of her in the car having to pretend to exhibit emotion because she doesn't. You know?
Yeah. She has to force and fake everything.
Yeah.
And that performance is actually really, really, really good.
It is.
Because she does like a lot of the tells of deception constantly.
Yeah. And it's so good that you as the audience member, you don't even notice it. Until you...
That's something I discovered. The woman who played Melanie, she's actually been in something that a lot of you out there may have seen. She was in Torchwood's Miracle Day.
Oh, okay.
She's one of the main characters who wasn't part of the initial Torchwood cast.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Cool. Yeah, she's like the blonde government agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Rock
so
on.
if you saw Miracle Day and like the blonde government agent, like she's in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
She plays Melanie, the other Munchausen by proxy. She's the second main character,
and her husband is played by Joe Swanberg, who's actually he's a mumblecore filmmaker that a lot of people know as the person who kicked Devin Farazi's ass at Fantastic Fest, and he's also been in other movies like he's the asshole big brother in You're Next.
Yeah.
He directed one of the VHS segments, the Stranger strange thing that happened to Emily.
Yeah. Which was a good one.
Yeah. And I believe he's actually in that one too.
Is that him? I don't think that's him.
Okay, he shows up in something.
Yeah, he does. But as you said, like a lot of those guys know each other. And like with other reviewers, they show up in
You're probably right. It's probably
yeah.
someone else, and he shows up in something else. But he shows up a lot in things because he's friends with people and he acts.
Yeah, particularly like Ty West.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. He was in The Sacrament.
Oh.
He was the camera guy.
Oh, that's right.
That's probably what I was thinking. It wasn't VHS that he shows up. It was probably The Sacrament.
Yeah. Because he's a camera guy, you don't see him that often, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, one of the things I thought was really cool is that while you sympathize with the just Swanberg.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a little bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, with the Joe Swanberg character. Ironically, the one you root for is the abusive red lesbian.
Yeah. Well,
she does all the awful things you want to do to these characters.
Well, that's one of the things I actually think is one of the best parts of this movie is how quickly your sympathies switch.
Yeah,
and it feels natural, it feels organic, and you don't feel gypped when it happens. Like you feel like the movie's actually taking you for a very interesting ride because, like, at first you feel bad for the main character girl. The first one who dies. You feel bad for her because she just lost her, like she's a little disconnected from people, but she just lost her daughter. She's going to these support, or I guess baby.
They specifically don't gender the
child. Yeah. She lost her baby, and she's going to support groups, and you think that like part of her disconnect. She's a little bit before that, but you kind of think that part of her disconnect is because she just lost her kid and doesn't know how to deal with it. And then when you find out that she wanted that, she planned that, like that was all part of her master scheme. Immediately your sympathies switch now to this other girl, but then you start to discover that the other girl is just as bad as she is.
Yeah.
And
she just hasn't actually killed her child, but everything else is the same.
And then your sympathies switch like between Joe Schwanberg's character and the redhead.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, like you don't even know what to feel anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I know. I noticed the second time seeing the movie, the things that Esther says to Melanie in the bathroom after she's killed her child are the exact same things that the redhead is telling Esther during their abusive fucking love scene.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this movie again because it has replay value.
Yeah. It's very dense film. Oh man, I love the way that we get those. I don't know why, but I really liked the scene in the tattoo parlor where.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the redhead character's name. She's my favorite character in the movie. The problem, I think her name is Anka.
It was something.
Yeah, they specifically bring up her name at one point, but it's only said once.
Yeah. She was just the red. Yeah, I don't remember her name at all. But they do. You're right. They do mention it.
Yeah. And where she's getting a tattoo of Esther's name because now Esther dies.
Yeah. And she doesn't believe the story that Esther killed their kid before. Well, I should probably mention that the character that Joe Swanberg plays, like when Esther breaks into their house and kills their kid and basically confesses her love to the Melanie character, and just like, I did it for you, I did what you couldn't do, this is all for you or whatever. Joe Swanberg's character comes in, which is the husband and father of the kid, with a shotgun, just fucking kills her.
Yeah. Fucking straight up cold blood.
And the redhead doesn't believe the story that her beloved Esther like would kill a kid.
Yeah.
And
she kind of does.
Well, she acknowledges that she's crazy, but she keeps denying it anytime someone brings it up. Like, no, she didn't. Some dickless asshole killed my girlfriend, and well, she kind of not entirely recognizing the fact that this is the same woman that asked her to fucking beat her up so that she would miscarry. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. She's probably in denial. Like that's probably the idea, that she's in denial. But like the scenario she presents at the end when she like gets Melanie tied up is a scenario where Joe killed her because she was sleeping with his wife. life.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like that's what she wants to believe, even if she doesn't necessarily believe it.
Yeah. Like it's one of those things where like you definitely can tell that one of the things about the story is it's all about the stories that these women have constructed in their heads of the events around them, but the only one who kind of believes it is the red lesbian.
Yeah. It's and she also, much like Joe, is one of the two characters in the movie that actually feel things.
Yeah. Yeah, as nasty and mean and awful as she is, she feels like, but much almost a normal person.
And much like Joe, like we found out someone she loved is dead, is now getting just violently angry.
Yeah.
It's a human emotion.
Yeah.
Like there's scenes where like the Joe character and like Jack had to point it out to me because I actually had trouble telling what it was. He has these like hallucinations of what he would have done to the girl that killed his son, had he not taken like the shot that killed her, like the awful things he would have done to her, just to find out why. The question of why did you do this to me?
Yeah. Oh, another thing that I noticed about the movie this time along, what really signifies Esther is mirrors.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a really good point. How they constantly, like, every time she's shown having a little bit of life, she's like looking into a mirror. And there's that shot where she's fucking those random dudes in the bathroom and she's up against the mirror.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. At one point, like there's that scene where like Esther goes to kiss Melanie, and Esther's like, Melanie is like, I'm not a lesbian, and Esther goes, well, neither am I. But you've seen her already in this hardcore lesbian love scene, and then you think about it, and you're like, wait, I bet this is the kind of person who does that twisted logic thing of because the girl's using a strap on and not facing her, that means it ain't all the way gay. Bullshit.
Yeah. But she lets two guys double team her in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you get the feeling that she's just doing that to feel something.
Yeah. It's just getting fucked in the bathroom. As she's doing it, she's looking in the mirror.
Yeah. You're right. There's like the mirror. She's constantly looking at herself in the mirror, trying to find herself.
Yeah, and then when we see Joe Swanberg like have the fantasy of like dragging her out of the tub and torturing her, which they actually don't show, but they show him like dragging her out of the tub. We only see it in the mirror, but we don't actually see what's happening in reality, because in all the other mirror scenes, you see both at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. It's a really well done movie.
Yeah, it's an excellent film.
And I know we're a little all over the place here, but hopefully if you didn't, when we first started wanting to see this movie, hopefully you'll want to see it now. Yeah. Because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of layers.
So much going on.
All the characters are really well written. Like there's a lot of layers to them. And just when you think you figured them out, there's a new facet of them that completely falls in line with what you've seen, but you didn't really necessarily pick up on until it's revealed. Like the fact that one character, like, it seems a little like distant from everyone, like that. At first, you just kind of take it that, like I said, that she's distant because she's having a baby. She doesn't know really what's in store for her, and then she loses the baby, and then she doesn't know what to feel or whatever. Then you find out she just doesn't feel, and that's why she's distant. And you're like, oh, okay, it's. I love this movie. I love this movie. It's 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely thumbs up. Like that was a real find. Like it was. I clicked on it because it looked like it was going to be. I was expecting something kind of like the 1970s Prophecy or some really crazy stylized like 70s throwback film, because you look at the cover and it looks like bullshit. Like even on the Netflix queue, you look at it and you're like, oh, it's like a red sonogram of a baby Proxy. All right, so maybe it'll be like It's Alive or something.
I kind of got from the poster. I kind of got the vibe that it would be like a. For some reason, in my head, I imagined a movie kind of like Antiviral, like a kind of Cronenberg love film. A Splice kind of film. I don't know why, just the poster alone gave me that vibe, but I didn't really know what it would be. And it's not that.
It's not Cronenbergian at all.
This is very much like a really weird character thriller mystery study thing. Like,
yeah, it's really good. Really good. I love the scene where Esther finds out that Melanie's son isn't actually dead.
Oh
Yeah. Okay, that's the first time you're like, I have no idea where this movie is going.
That part threw me for a fucking loop because I'm like, okay, like she stumbles upon one of her friends from the support group and she's having flashbacks to having her kid or something. Like, oh my god, where's my kid? The kid's gone or whatever, and she's like in a store freaking out because she can't find her kid. But then she follows her. As she follows her and she goes to her car and then takes out her kid and you're like, wait, if her kid was right, what her kid isn't dead? What's going on?
Yeah.
like is this some sort of scam? What's going on? What's whatever? And then when you kind of realize why it's called Proxy, it all starts to make sense.
Yeah.
Really fucked up way.
Yeah, super fucked up. I fucking love. I love the bit at the end where like Melanie like zones out for a minute and starts having this weird fantasy about everything that's gonna happen once this is all concluded.
The thing that you kind of quickly learn about Melanie is that Esther was all about. Esther and Melanie are both about the attention they get for their tragedies that they kind of they kind of do. Like they don't really care. It's I don't know how to explain it, but they like feed off the attention they get post a tragedy. So they fabricate tragedies for themselves.
Yeah.
And in her case, like she's fabricating this entire scenario in her head of what's going to be like when she goes, like, it starts talking to news networks about the loss she suffered or whatever. And she's like fantasizing about this and smiling. It's dark as hell. You're like,
yeah,
holy
really
shit,
nasty.
That's fucked up. Like, these people are crazy, but it's glorious to watch.
Yep.
God, I feel too dumb to be able to talk about all the layers of this movie. That's how well done it is. Like,
yeah. What else? I don't. This is like the first like real movie I think this guy has done.
I have no idea.
He's done other things, but like they aren't really necessarily things that I have seen or had any interest in. I now can't. Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out.
I'll definitely watch anything anyone who was involved with this will make next, because this is a really great movie and I really liked it.
Yeah. Very simply shot movie too.
It's classically done. It's got that old Hollywood, like, lock down the camera, get a nice composed shot that is motivated. Motivated, like shots of like, hey, it's Esther feeling really alone, so here's a shot of her in like a chair surrounded by all these chairs from like a distance, and there's like a TV playing behind her that she's not even looking at. Like,
TV playing behind her that's actually playing like one of those like commercials where like a family is together.
It's just like everything like it's just it's very much a case of like the Kubrickian, like every frame's a painting. Like,
but at the same time it's a very like it's a very, very stark painting. It's not like Driver where everything is like super lush and like everything tells a story always at all times,
like a Drive.
Drive, yeah. What'd I say?
Driver.
Right.
That's probably a movie. There's probably a movie called Driver, so just making sure that...
Yeah, actually, I think Driver's a video game.
You're right.
Yeah.
That is a video game.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's the one that, like, the third one, which is, like, Drethreaver.
Because that always looks good, right?
Yeah, that always
That worked once. It was called Seven. Like, that's...
Yeah. Like... or it's I like to call it Seven.
I still like Scriform. Scriform.
Oh, Scream 4. You're not that good.
Sorry, I'm a big Scream fan, but I'm mainly a Scream 1 and 2 fan. 3 and 4 don't do much for me. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, not so much. Man, I really want to get a copy of that uncut super R-rated version of Scream.
Oh God,
because that's a different movie.
It broke my heart when I found out that cut of the movie was a mistake on the VHS copy, and it was only available like once on Laserdisc. Beyond that,
Yeah.
But it was the cut of the movie that I watched because I had one of those VHSs before they recalled them. So for the longest time, Scream for me was really gory.
Yeah. When I said like Scream is like his bloodless fucking movie, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah." We're like, "I'll show you." And he's like, "We're like, wait, this is a different movie. What the hell's going on?"
To find out that the normal cut of the movie, the cut that everyone else saw, was actually cut to shit. Like the MPA like cut out every fucking
That first kill, that guy's guts are like fucking spilling out all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa. So so it is a case where when I run into horror fans that really don't like Scream because of how bloodless it is, it really is a case where I actually did see a different movie than they did. Like, yeah. because I happen to have that cut, and I wish I still had that VHS. I would transfer that to something. So I had that.
I'd be interested in seeing that. Like, why did they fucking?
I think I read, like, looking up trying to find a copy of it, that like in Germany there's like a Blu-ray release of it, but you have to buy like the German version. So as long as you have like an all-region player, you can do it. But like,
is the German Blu-ray region the same as?
I have no idea.
England?
I have no idea. I'd have to check.
Yeah. Because if it's region 2, I was planning on getting a second Blu-ray player and setting it to region 2. Because there are a lot of foreign DVDs, particularly European. Although what's annoying me is that a Blu-ray that I really want to have released here is looking like it's going to take a while, which is Wormwood.
Oh, yeah.
Wormwood, there's like no home video plans for Wormwood that I know of yet in America. There are home video, but where is it? Well, it's in Australia.
I think it'll come here eventually. It's just going to take a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a while for foreign films to finally get distribution over here.
Yeah, I was actually really amazed at how quickly Housebound came over here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was really quick.
Yeah. Though, that movie came out like a year before we finally were able to watch it.
Yeah.
Like in Australia, that's like a 2013 film. For us, it's 2014.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I think that's about it, really. Yeah. Like,
I know this is a little rambly, but this movie has a lot to talk about.
Oh, ambulance is driving by.
Oh, God, they're coming for us.
Hopefully it's not an injured baby. There's a lot of baby injuring in this movie.
They're coming for our stash. We gotta hide it. Ah!